flat there. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. It's the Electron Bandit. That me. It's the Electron Bandit show. I think I'm gonna move away from R9 casting it because it's a little antiquated. I stopped doing numbers like 2 years ago. If I calculated how many episodes I've been doing, starting at the first number one of R9 cast, then it would be over 500. Yeah, because I stopped at 380 something 2 years ago or something. So yeah, definitely over 500. But you know what? Is having over 500 episodes important? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. No. If you want to be part of the show, you go to my YouTube. I'm trying to make that better. YouTube.com/watch?v equals OJ9LQE lowercase I capital Z 61M. Electron Bandit is the Electron Bandit is the thingy jam. Wait, is Quest? Where's? But I guess I'll put it in here. I'll put it in here. Paste. Boom. And I'll put it in Twitch because I wanna be something or something. I don't know. I just want to I do this every week. Might as well have something come of it. I don't know. I've been thinking, contemplating, and writing. Have to write. Always be writing. If you're a writer or you want to be a writer, always be writing. Technically, I don't want to be a writer. I just want to make stuff. So part of that means writing. Also, I think I want to be a writer because I need my brain to work as long as possible. And when you don't exercise your muscles, they start to, deteriorate. They start to, what's the word? Wow. See what happens? I haven't been using my brain. I can't remember the word that it is called when it's on the tip of the tongue. It doesn't matter though. Atrophy. That's the words. So yeah. Anyway, I'm writing because I need to exercise my brain. And that's what I'll say right now. I'll say other things later, but right now. So as the title dictates or hints at, I'm going to talk about Returnal. Specifically the story. I'm not going to talk about the horrible lack of respect of the player's time that Housemarque decided to make this game and be like, you know what? You're going to play for 2 hours. And then we're going to screw you right at 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 47 seconds. And then waste time. All time wasted. You get no progress. Hell to the no. And people are like, oh, you need the easy mode. You need a little bubble like Nintendo or something. You need easy. No. Look. I'm looking at a game, right? I'm like, oh, that looks cool and stuff, right? And then I hear how that works, and I'm like, yeah, no. I definitely don't have time. I barely have time for the things that I need to do. Why am I going to waste time playing a game that's just going to be like smack, you suck as a gamer, try again. 2 hours out your life gone. I'm like, I could have took a nap and been a healthier person than play this. I could have done almost anything else on the planet and been better for it than play Returnal and not get any progress done because of how the game is kind of structured. And people capping, people defending it. That's the vision of the designers, man. Yeah, that's the vision. And I'm like, well, I guess they need some new glasses because their vision is off a little bit. Because, look. I was saying this on Twitter. The original Rogue which is where the genre was birthed from. Rogue, the first rogue like, because it is called. Why do you think it's called rogue like? Rogue is the first. It had a save system. So don't tell me that this is how those games. Nah. The original game had savies. So no excuse. No, zero excuses. Whoever caps for that game, y'all can kick rocks. I ain't got no time. I ain't got no time to listen to you cap about. I ain't got no time for you. I got no time for you to try to convince me. You start and I'm like, no. Talk about anything else. You can make up a brand new story that's not even true. I have more time for fallacies and fiction than I do capping for Returnal. And I just realized why. I realized before why it's called Returnal. It's return, you return, and it's eternally returning. Returnal, right? Oh, that's clever wordplay. No, it's not. Not when the game has a fundamental gameplay flaw that makes it unfun. There has been a trend over at Sony. I don't know. They just want to be the abusive spouse. Is that what it is? It's like, yo, you gonna love this beating. I'm gonna give you this beating so good, you gonna love it. Okay. And then you're like, brah. And then, can I have another beating, please? I liked it. I don't know what it is about your beatings. They're very juicy and special. Why? Okay. What's going on here? Hello.
I don't think you're on yet, right, SD?
I'm on. What's wrong with you?
I need help.
What do you mean you need help?
I need you to run over here and get this little dog.
What dog? What? Keto?
Yes.
I'm streaming.
Come on, SD, please.
I'm streaming right now. Okay, fine. What? What? Okay. I'll be there. Goodbye. Okay. I'll be there. I was on a road too. I was like, yo, Returnal Sorta. I need for you to. Okay. I guess I gotta go for a second. Let me put on my Be Right Be real quick. I'll put some music on again. Let's see it. The music's playing. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'll be right back, y'all. Boop. To the wake. I know. I'll be right back. Back. Oh, that was quick. All right. Okay. Okay, be quiet. All right, hold up. Got to there I am. Woo. You know what? Had to return a dog. Just dogs falling out the sky, flying, whatever. Anyway, Returnal. I learned about the story of Returnal like 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I just didn't talk about it because I was like, And the funny thing is, Returnal came out, and it was hot for about 4 days. Resident Evil comes out, nobody's talking about Returnal. Everybody's talking about Resident Evil. And you know it's bad when Resident Evil gets a better score than your first party bangers. The first party bangers are supposed to be the best of the best, aren't they? So how's a lowly old Resident Evil multiplayer game that's on everything? It's on refrigerators and it's on pagers and stuff. It's on everything. How's that one getting better scores than Returnal? Because Lady Dimitri, whatever her name is, that's why. Them giant vampires. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But yeah, Returnal. The story is okay. So my prediction of you're gonna be the last boss or something like that. That was totally wrong. One thing I didn't realize that it's basically a story about. Okay, here's what I think. I think Returnal is a story about whatever the main character's name. I totally forgot it. Just left my brain, but it's not important. She is dead. I believe she's dead. And this is her. I won't call it hell. Let's call it purgatory. This is her purgatory. She hasn't ascended to heaven. She hasn't gone to the depths of hell. I mean, maybe some would consider this hell. Depends on how you look at it, but it's kind of her. It might be her. Who knows? But it seemed like okay. So here it is. The whole story of the farmhouse and all that stuff. Like that's a clue right there. It's like okay, first of all, she crashes on a planet and her house is here from. Nah, this has to be something. Just it's crazy. Like what? Is she dead or hallucinations? Maybe I don't know, right? And so basically, the main let me pull that freaking stupid thing up. I can't remember what her name is. Returnal. Metacritic. Let's do the Metacritic. I don't even know what the Metacritic is. That's not it. That can't be it. Oh, it's an 86. Okay. 7.3 user score. Yeah, that's lower than, I think that's lower than Resident Evil. People who gave it 100, The Guardian gave it 100, kick rocks, you suck. So, what's her name? Why did Chloe just jump into my brain? It's not her name. Her name is, I don't remember. There, see, she finally found me. What's her name? Bridget. What's her name? I don't want the Metacritic. I just want the Returnal info. In a roguelike third-person shooter. So her name is. Her name is on her uniform. So if I look at a picture, I could probably find. Her name is. I'm trying to get it out of my brain. That's how memorable it is. It's like I don't care. Okay, let's look at the Wikipedia. Should say in there. White Shadow. Is it in there in the top? Celine. That's her name. Celine. Selene. So, I guess I could put that one. So, Selene. Do I want to put on gameplay? I don't care about the gameplay. she, where's the skid images? Let's just do images. There you go. There you go. Images, full images. There you go. So she is the daughter of her mother. Y'all following me so far, right? It's not that complicated yet. She pudding pops. Sorry. Don't you miss before when your mind was innocent? The innocent times of the innocent minds of the before Bill Cosby was known to be what he is now. Anyway, so she is the daughter of her mother. Now there are flashbacks where someone that looks just like her, Celine, is driving a car and there's a little kid in the back, daughter, and they crash off a bridge and go in the water, splash. Right? That is Celine's mother driving. Celine is the little girl. You get it? Yeah, you following me so far? Okay. Right? So, in this Returnal, I'm trying to piece all the pieces because I like I said, I saw the stuff, I saw the endings a week or two ago, so I'm just going off of memory. And so she crashes on a planet, keeps looping around, blah blah blah. She's finding out new stuff. Finds out that it's weird because she is the actual cause of the crash because she warps onto the road as an astronaut, not in that suit, but in a regular suit, astronaut suit, and then boom, they crash, and then I think her mom was trying to save her, and then something pulled her out, the mom out, so she died. Very confusing to me because, like I said, I didn't play it, and I wasn't paying the most keen attention to detail because honestly, I don't think the story is the best part of this game. It's there, but honestly, the best part of this game. What up, legend? How you doing? Appreciate you jumping in on YouTube. That's where you should be. Screw Fossey Book. YouTube is the joint. So that's where. Yeah. So the best part of Returnal is the actual 30 seconds of fun, whatever Bungie calls it, right? Where you go, you shoot, you dodge, all the bullets is bullet hell, and you're like, oh, right? That's the best part. That's the best part, period. Can't tell me it's not. When you look at trailers for Returnal, that's all you see. It's like, ooh, look at that boss. Oh, look at the bullets hell, look at the colors, right? That's all you see. They don't show, I mean, they don't want to spoil it, so they don't show too much. I mean, let's show a flash, a second or two of story stuff to switch, to give you some B-roll, if you will. But the main juice, the main yummies of the trailers is, that's what's up, right? That's the game. If you take this game and you say, yo, this is an arcade game, get your quarters ready, well, dollars, whatever. It would just be straight gameplay. That's all it would be. You're shooting bosses, going room to room, shooting bosses. It wouldn't, well, if this was a traditional type of arcade game, there would be no, oh, you die, and then, well, I mean, yes. But it wouldn't be structured the same way. But yes, it would. Well, you would be able to continue. That's my point, right? So, imagine if this was an arcade game. Be like, oh, you died. Put another $1 in to continue. That's how they make their money on them arcade games, right? That's what this game would be. Now, I'm not saying that's what you should do. Press start to continue. No. Have one save slot where you can save once. And that's it. Not like a whole bunch so you can save some. Oh, I want to go to the 5th biome this time. Oh, I want to go to the 3rd one. And yes, I know there's a midway point where you could just, quick teleport to, I think, biome after biome 3 or something, or after you after you beat the 3rd biome boss. Yeah, I didn't say Aloha. I'm sorry, Aloha, legend. But yeah, so I was like, okay. So like the story was like, it's a little, I don't want to say convoluted, but I'm trying to find a word that describes it. But the fact that I don't care enough about the story, I don't know if it makes it convoluted, but I know that I don't care. I know that when I see this game, It's all about the guns. It's all about the bullets, actually, and the colors. The colors and the bullets. Why you think the bullets are purple? Why you think they're purple bullets? What other colors you got? All right, so this picture, I believe, is of her. That's the picture she sees when she goes into the house. She picks it up and says, hey, it's my house. That's not her. But yeah, so her mom, they crash into the boat. I mean, they crash into the boat. They crash the car. Mom's driving. She's in the back. I don't know what relevance that has to the thing. I don't know if she's actually dead. She's dead and this is her purgatory or whatever. Maybe. That makes sense. But, you know, as far as the shortcomings of this game, it's literally quality of life things. Like if there's a quality of life director over at Housemarque, right? They're saying, okay, I am the director of quality of life, meaning I don't want this game to be frustrating just because we don't have a save system. And they're like, about that. He's like, wait, this is a roguelike. You're not gonna have no kind of nothing? I mean, you don't have to, let's not be, like, okay, if you're into a run, you get to a boss, you can't save, it would be useful if you could save right before the boss and say, I just want to get to this and try to beat him every time you go to the boss, maybe. And then you say, oh, well, I don't have the right equipment. I got to start over. Then, okay. But you only have the one save. So it's not like you go to another save that has another loadout. No. So that's why I'm saying one save slot. That's it. And that would work, I think. But I would have to look at Rogue to see how they implemented saves. But even the game that we're making, Grashers, it's a roguelite. It's a roguelite, excuse me. There's actually a distinction between roguelike and roguelite that I just kind of learned about. So roguelike is like rogue, period, as far as I understand it. A roguelite is like rogue, except it has a lot of other tweaks and variations that take it's more of, oh yeah, this is a game that kind of has rogue stuff in it, but it's something else too. It's not like Rogue, and then it's kind of a dumb distinction, and those two terms are interchangeable in a way if you think about it. But I'll try to say Rogue liked when it comes to our game, because it's not like Rogue, because it has save. Well, actually Rogue has that, so it's more like a roguelike, but it's more than that too. It's a twin stick shooter. It's kind of in space too. So this is, y'all see our game like, oh, you buying off of Returnal? Like, no. We have a space hamster, so you can go kick rocks, because space hamsters are better. I don't even know what she got. She got alien attachments and stuff. Anyway, so there's the cabin in the woods. So our game is, like I said, it's a twin stick shooter. It's more in the lines of a Binding of Isaac. It's a top down. We're not using a 3D engine, but there are 3D elements. Look, Rafa and Brian, the programmers and artists extraordinaires, or I can't even say the words, have figured out a way to make 3D out of nothing. I was like, I told him that. I was like, yo, man, how you gonna make this? We can do it, right? And he's like, I don't know. And then he did it. He's like, okay, it wasn't as hard as I thought. It's like, only genius programmer, coder people like, oh, it wasn't that bad. I was like, man, you pull up a code screen, and I'm seeing all this if then, true, false, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know. And you mess up a space or anything, it's like, it's broken. Don't work. It's like, why isn't it working? Oh, I had the wrong number here, or I had a space here. I had a comma instead of a colon, or what? I don't know what. It doesn't matter. But the main thing about what I'm talking about Returnal, it ends up and there's this big giant Cthulhu monster at the end who's like, and you're like, ah, and it ends, and I'm not too sure. There's like a whole sequence, and then there's like a zombie skeleton lady in a wheelchair that's pregnant, and she goes, ah, and you're like, oh, and you go, psh, and you punch her in the face, and she's like, ah, that hurt. But she doesn't talk, but, ah. You know? I'm like, this is, huh? What does that represent? I don't, can you write this down for, can somebody please explain, totally, I want the developer to explain, there it is right here. This is right here. There's your mama. She's pregnant. It's a little boy. You see the bump right there? Please explain to me so I can understand the story more better. Because, you know, sometimes when I watch certain YouTubers and they'll break down this one dude. Well, it was Matt Pat. I think it was Matt Pat. Yeah, he broke down Underworld. And I was like, yo, he went deep into this little 8-bit looking. I was like, okay, huh? And then when he broke down Five Nights at Freddy, I was like, okay, I got brand new respect for Five Nights at Freddy. I think I played 2 seconds of the first one, and I was like, okay, this is dumb. I mean, it's not dumb, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna, no, don't want to play that. But the lore behind Five Nights at Freddy is like, okay. So now I see why this game is still around. I see why Nicolas Cage is making basically a Five Nights at Freddy movie, but it's not called Five Nights at Freddy. It's a dark ass story, and I'm like, that's when, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, and they don't specifically spell it out in the games. It's just like, oh, this is the backstory. This is how the things are, the creatures are alive, and this is what happened. This is how it happened. Blah blah blah. These different characters that are associated with this, and there's murder. There's bad stuff going on. With Returnal, is like, okay, wait. So she was the astronaut that was on the bridge, but then she was in the car at the same time. So something's not real. What's going on? She must be in purgatory or something. Endless, or her hell. Endless loop of going over and over and over and over and over and over. And maybe that's the devs like, yes, this is hell. It would feel like hell. No saves. It's like, okay, doesn't make for a fun game, but sure, if you want to stick to that, that's okay. That's part of the story. No saves in the game. This part, it doesn't. It feels. I keep saying this, and I don't want to say it, but it feels like they don't respect their time. It feels like Housemarque is disrespecting our time as players. And I know, Legend, you're not playing, and you said $70 is too. And besides the fact that it's $70, I'm not even making. I'm just talking about the merits of the game. The whole point that it's $70. That's on Sony. That's the Sony. We want the money right there. That's what that is. You know, not even thinking about, oh, is this game actually worth $70 or what? What are we doing here? You know. So it's like, okay, whatever. And that, like I said, was it the Guardian that gave it 100? Yeah, no. And another problem with like Metacritic and stuff is that these reviewers don't care. They just want it, you know. Oh, I like Sony. I'm a pony. 100. And so they keep getting the games review codes or whatever. And it's like, okay, I mean, you know, if that's what's up. That's what's up. And the more that games come out, I mean, we're veering off of the Returnal stuff because there's nothing really. I would say there's nothing really to spoil. I kind of gave you the gist of it. I didn't super spoil it, but that's kind of it. She's the daughter of the mother, car crash. She's an astronaut. Something. Blah. That's the gist of it. You know. Of course, there's more than that. There's more nuance or whatever, but it's not like, oh, yo. Like I could go into Five Nights at Freddy's right now and be like, yeah, okay, first of all, this dude, right? He had the thing. He was kidnapping kids and and go down the line, and it's like, okay, stop. That story's too creepy for me right now. Thank you. It's a creepy story. It's a good story. Way better than Returnal. You know your game is whack when Five Nights at Freddy got a better story. I'm sorry. That's bad. Vigo says 10% discount with PS Plus on new titles with PS Plus. Oh, okay. That's good. So you get $63 you get to pay plus tax. So it's almost 70, 60. Well, I don't know what the tax is in Hawaii. But here it's 6.25%, I think. Oh no, 6. I think it's 6%. So it's like $5 extra, whatever. So it's under 70 for us, definitely. But it might be. I think your tax rate is higher. If I'm not sure, I mean, I would just, based off of like what Puerto Rico's is, I would just assume Hawaii's. I could just look it up because internet's here, but whatever. But I mean, that's definitely a wait until it's on PS. If that goes on PS Plus, like here's the free game, Returnal. It's like, okay, good. I wasn't paying $70 for that crap, but it's not gonna get on there for years. It might go to PS Now, so they can get some subs or something, but that's not gonna be for months and months, maybe 6 months or something. I don't know what the actual. I haven't looked at the timeline between launch game and when it like arrives in the PS Now. I should actually do that, and we can kind of see a little correlation to see what the minds of the people, the money people over at Sony are thinking. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's kind of the old Blu-ray. I say the old Blu-ray release, like a movie comes out in the theater, right? Used to, and then it would be like 6 months, but then it went to like 4 months, then 3 months, and then it was like it would go to like cable or something or streaming, and then it would go to DVD, or it would go to cable. It would have those deals first, and then after that it would go to like Netflix, and then it would hit Netflix and streaming services and stores at the same time, I believe, something like that. 4.56. Is that it? Oh snap! So you get a good deal. So you're under. Yeah, that's good. So you're like $6 maybe. Let's see, 4.5% of $63. Wait, is that 10% off of? That's just 10% off of the MSRP. So 10% off of $69.99. So $63 or $62.99. So $63. 4.5% of 63 is, let's see, 10% is 6.3. 5% is 3.15. Excuse me. What did I say? 3 points. So it's 2. So it's 2 plus 60. Yeah, about $66. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. Still more than what it would have been. So you're paying an extra couple of bucks with that PS Plus discount. So it's not as bad, but still, I still don't think it's a full price game. I think it's a good like $49.99. Like when the prices were $59.99, like $10 off of that AAA price. You know, that's what it seems like to me. It feels like this game is that smaller type of game that just like by the nature of how they didn't put a save system in. Because here's one of the things that I'm thinking, right? Because they didn't put like any type of save or checkpointing system, it inherently makes the game longer. Because, people are talking about, I spent an hour and I put in rest mode and my PS5 crashed and then I lost my progress. Automatically, that's an hour extra that you're playing the game. If you're going to still play the game. You know what I mean? So, I know that wasn't their intent to have hardware issues that would make the game actually longer to play. And that also doesn't count towards your total gameplay. I would think it doesn't count because it doesn't save your progress. So why would it save the time played? Unless that's a system wide. Is that a system thing where it tracks the... I don't know. But anyway. It feels like the fact that it was kind of calculated. Okay, we're not going to put a save system so that it would take them longer to complete this game. They want people to play these games longer. I mean, that's anybody who's making the game, selling games, whatever. They want people to play the games as long as possible. That's it. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? How do you do that? You make it hard, and you don't put a save system in it, and you have people defending that. That's the formula. Legend says, I could say almost no roguelike should be full price. Yeah. I think you're right. I think by its nature, it's one of the, I think, last of the old school, I would say last of the old school type of genres that are like, that's like saying, a beat 'em up is $70. I'm like, are you out of your damn mind? A beat 'em up? Streets of Rage 5? oh, it's all full 3D now. It's like, no. Oh, you get it's a behind the back third person beat 'em up. I'm like, nope, not 70. Nope, that's like a side scrolling platform. Sonic 29, behind the back 3D. There's a big story. No, not 70. They'll try with Sonic, but nah, not even Sonic can garner $70. Sorry. And you know what? I've said this before, but the $70. Well, I'd say full price, not 70. Well, $70 is the full price now, so I'll say $70. But when I say that is full price. So the $70 price tag applies to what Sony has, not deemed, but they have set expectations in the industry to be $70, and that is God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Last of Us Part 2. And that's what's up. And I would say Gran Turismo, because of legacy, and they have 100 million billion cars in it, so sure, okay. But I mean, I don't think the show should have been $70. That's like a $60 game. That's like $10 just shy. Even because I don't think they did too much work on it to make it. It wasn't really. I mean, I played it on the one, so but I saw the next gen stuff. I was like, that's okay. I mean, that's. It's like I don't see it, but okay. Then it says no roguelike is a full length game, so why should it be full price? But that's the thing. Like Returnal is a long ass game, but it's only because of the nature of how they set up the progression or the checkpointing, if you will. I think there's one checkpoint at the end of 3, at end of biome 3 after you beat the third boss. So I'm like, okay. I mean, it's not even checkpointing. It's like, okay, every time you die or whatever, you're gonna start over again. But after you beat the third boss, you can skip 1, 2, and 3, get to straight to 4 or something like that. So I was like, okay, our game you can save. So you do a run, right? You go and you do one dungeon, boom, you beat the boss, you go back to your ship, boom, saved. When you go back to your ship, you save. You didn't die, you beat the boss, you go back, and it's the run you could do, and that's a run, but it's not really it's not a full run. It's not like you going through the whole game, right? So I mean, that's about like, okay, what do you consider a run? Just, I'm going to play this game until I don't play it no more, and that's my run? Or is it until you get back to like a checkpointing or a save point or your bonfire? Hello? You know what I mean? Make it so that it's friendly for players to play and want to play. What frustrates me, I said this last week, I think, or the week before, I was playing Indiana Jones. I got to a part, I kept dying on the stupid, because the controls are horrible on that game. And I said, forget. I said, ugh. I got frustrated. I pressed the button. I was like, get me out of here. I went back to home and I watched YouTube for a little bit. I calmed down. I said, okay, let me go. And I went back to the game. And luckily, when you go to YouTube, I'm on the Xbox One X, right? So you go to YouTube. You go to YouTube or some like secondary app. It still keeps your game suspended. So I went right back to Indiana Jones, and I didn't have to load it back up. It was already where I was. So that's cool. But still, any game that does that, I'm almost done with it. I'm like, I don't have time for this. You know what I mean? I want to play it because, they're coming out with a new game. Speaking of that, the Psychonauts is on Game Pass. I have Psychonauts, but it's on Game Pass. So I was like, let me just download it. And I was playing through it, and I was like, oh, I don't remember this being this good. I just remember it being like weird and stuff, and I was like, I don't want to play it or whatever. And I wasn't interested. It was just like, I guess my mind was on another place. And I played it, and I was like, and now I'm paying attention to the writing. I'm like, oh, okay, this is actually a really good game. It's old as hell, and the fact that it is an OG Xbox game. If the graphics was like, okay, so if the graphics on the first Psychonauts was kind of akin to what would be today a Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, then there's no difference. I mean, the writing is perfect. Level design is pretty good. I think the controls are a little but not as bad as Indiana Jones. Legend says, I'm sure you can speedrun Returnal in less than an hour. I don't know if I've heard less than an hour. I think I've heard about an hour and something. I don't remember. Let's look it up real quick. Returnal speedrun. 118. There you go. Full game speed run. Let's click on that, I guess, huh? We can watch that for a little bit. And it didn't go. 6 days ago. All biomes and bosses. Is it gonna go? And there it is. Hey, it's muted. Good. Boop. Who cares? Go there. Wee. Anyway, so that's really bad. Let me lower that resolution on there. We can't have that. Let's do 720. Is that better? I think it's better. Let's go lower. Let's go 480p, baby. That's really what it looks like. We can shrink that down a little bit. But yeah. So, like, I mean, you know, I'm looking at this. So one thing I would say is that I think that the character animation is okay. I'm not gonna say it's whack as hell, but I will say it's like, it's not top tier Sony quality. See, and this is what I'm saying. Sony has set a precedent for all their games. So when you come up short, I'm gonna point it out. That's not top tier Sony quality animation right there. So I think this game was made at the point where they were going through them issues with The Last of Us and Uncharted and all that stuff, and that one company that was polishing all their games. The one, not company, but the group of people, was like, you know, can we get a studio name or something? You know, can we be a studio? It's like, nah, no. Shh. I'm sorry. Like, you don't exist. Like, it's like, all right, I'm out. And then a bunch of people. Anyway, we're not going through that again. I like the speed of it, right? So it's like, okay, that's pretty good. Speed is good. But I don't know, man. That animation is just a little. It's not quite. It's like, it's just short of being like, yeah, okay, that feels good. It doesn't feel bad, but I'm like, it's like just close. You know what it is? A lot of it is that midsection in her back, how the texture is stretching back and forth. It just looks weird. You know what I mean? Maybe if they had segmented it a little bit more, it'd have been a little bit less weird. If that makes sense. And also, it just feels like she's a little stiff. Not crazy stiff, but like, I mean, this is a game that's like, this isn't a realistic game. Let's be real. You know, this is a fantasy. They can have a little bit of, I would say, liberty in animation when it comes to that stuff. You know, and I think they're trying to be a little bit, I don't want to say too realistic, but it's a little too close to what the real KI would be. KIK, inverse kinetics of reality, you know. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think the main problem with Returnal, besides the save stuff, is really them treating this like a super duper AAA game, and that's the problem. The perception is that, oh, it's a AAA game. Are they changing the standard of AAA right now? Is this what AAA is now? And so, what does that make God of War? Is that mean that the quality of AAA games going forward from Sony are going to be diminished from what they were on PS4? Is that what they're saying? You know, I mean, some would. I guess some people could. I just said it, but that was more of a question, not like this is what they're doing. So now God of War is only going to be 5 hours or 8 hours long, you know, and Last of Us is only going to be 10 hours long. So all these games are going to be shorter. Like Horizon Zero Dawn is not going to be how long was the first one? It's not going to be a 30-hour game. They're not doing that no more. So you'd be lucky if you get 12. And that's why they made a game like this. So they can take a 5-hour game and make it a 17-hour game, a 20-hour game, because you die so many times. This dude ran through it in an hour and 18 minutes. So not even a 5-hour game. It's an hour and 18-minute game. But that's a speed run. So that's the different. That's a special case thing. But and I don't think there's no cheats or anything. It's just knowing where to go, what to do and what to grab and what to shoot and what to not to and run and stuff. So yeah. But you were close though. I mean, less than an hour 18. That's shoot. Yeah, I remember seeing it. I was like, I think it's an hour and something. But I'm looking at this and and a lot of complaints that I heard was that it gets monotonous. It gets the same. It gets not boring, but there's not enough variety. And I was like, okay. I mean, I guess I can see that. I mean, I'm looking at the monsters right now, and they look like different versions of the same thing. One's blue, one's orange with the tentacles. It's like, okay, I've seen one. I haven't been paying attention, no, so, But, and if you notice, everything's like the environment is gray, but all the energies and stuff are colors. Colors. Okay, there's a different one. Is that a boss? I think that's a boss. Boom, 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 boom. You're dead. I think that was a boss or a mini boss. That wasn't a boss. That was a mini boss. What was that? Is that a tentacle? Oh, that's a different one. Isn't that? That's a little bit different. Yeah. So then there are a little bit of variations and stuff, of course. But yeah, man, it's really the price. It's really, I mean, the main first thing, price. The second thing, no save, no way to let people tackle this game in a reasonable manner, and yeah, and like I said, is this an indication of what this is? Returnal. Kaijiro, how you doing? Appreciate you coming through. This is Returnal. I already talked about the little bits of story that I was going to talk about, so no more spoilers from now on. But my question is, last question, we can move on to something else I was going to talk about. I can't remember right now. Is this the standard of AAA games at Sony? Is this what's happening? Is it diminishing in a sense? Because remember, all these other games that was popping off in PS4 time, Jim Ryan was in Europe. He was the Europe dude, right? But it was Sean Layton. He was the America dude. And I don't know if we're gonna get a God of War Ragnarok that's gonna be as big as the first God of War. That's the rewind time game. It's not a rewind time game. It's a looping game. It doesn't rewind time. You just die and then you go back to the beginning again. You have to play it all over again. And yeah, these new IPs look too generic in my opinion. I mean, I think this is an Unreal Engine game. I believe Unreal 4. It should be Unreal 4. But I mean, it doesn't look ugly. It doesn't look bad. But like I said, there's certain things that about it that's like, whatever. And it is pretty not common. It is pretty, as far as dark space game, like the interface that just popped up is like, okay, that's kind of like Aliens, so they're trying to get like an Aliens vibe, but it's not really there. Like the Aliens vibe, honestly, is gonna be Scorn, because that looks like Giger, how do you say it, Giger, just went there and said, you know what, it's not black anymore, it's all flesh colored alien stuff. That's what it looks like. It looks like Alien, except it's not done yet. Put it in the oven more till it gets nice and black. Like if they colored all the stuff in Scorn black, it would look like an Alien game. But Scorn is like flesh colored Alien, and that's just kind of yucky to think about. But generic, all the games look too much the same. Dark, creepy, lights, monsters. True. Did oh boy, want to become famous? Buy followers and viewers on it. Look up Demio for VR. Demio, I heard about that. What is that? I'm kind of done with this anyway. Legend says, yeah, but what up with the Resident Evil? That's the bomb. Okay, that's what I was gonna talk about. Resident Evil. That village is what everybody should be playing right now. Yes, I agree. So we're gonna look up Demio first. Demio. I think I heard somebody talking about it on a podcast. So it's a tabletop dungeon crawler. Is there a game? Is there? I was gonna see. I'll do the gameplay overview. I gotta put the settings down. Okay, it's on 480, so that's good. It's like D&D. It's dope. Cool. I did play Pillars of Eternity, I think it was, or the second one. It was on Game Pass. I was like, oh, let me try this out, and it was okay. I liked it because it was like D&D, because it was like, oh, you did this, you went this, and then it was like, oh, this is like D&D. Hold up, because I never really played a D&D like that, but I've listened to a couple of people kind of run through a campaign, so I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. So yeah, I got a little taste of that. I was like, not bad. Sorry, no sound, because that's how we roll. So I like these YouTube that has actually little chapters and stuff. So it's D&D, but it's literally D&D. Okay. I mean, it's not D&D, but you know what I'm saying. All right, that's dope. I ain't gonna lie, that's pretty dope. I mean, I would say that VR isn't necessary to have a game like this, but that's dope. In VR, yeah. You can zoom in and out. Yeah, that is. I ain't gonna lie. Like for D&D heads, this is it right here. You're like, yo, let's go. Definitely. Yeah, I think I might. I was gonna say I might play some more of Pillars of Eternity. Whatever, whatever. Totally forgot what the subtitle was. The way you can zoom in the board and out makes the VR. Oh yeah, no. I definitely agree, because it's definitely I think taking like what would normally be an actual physical thing with people build these elaborate freaking landscapes with castles and all that stuff just to play these games, but having something like this virtually, I mean, first of all, a game so that you can have multiple settings, and then you can move around inside of it and feel like you're in the game and stuff. And also there can be dynamic things about the board that would happen that you can't really emulate in a real world. So and plus, I saw a little bit of animation on the characters. They could have gone a little bit more full with that, but I think they wanted to keep it more, like you said, like a Dungeons and Dragons, so it's not super Diablo like. You know what I mean? But see, there you go. That's pretty dope. Yeah, I think it has enough. Yeah, it's pretty dope. No clock forcing you to move. You can just sit back, chat with your peeps in VR, and take your time. Yeah, that's dope. That's what those games are about. Like when you're sitting down with a board game and you're playing, boom. But that's dope though. I don't have VR, so I can't really play that. But what is that? Attacks and cards, additional details. Nice. So that's what you're playing. That's what you're into now. That's dope. I think something like that. I would play something like that, definitely. But because that seems more. Well, I don't know. Whatever. So Okay, so we're going to Resident Evil. But thank you for that, Kaijudo. Appreciate that. So Resident Evil. Let's just do 8. I don't know if we want to do the ending. Do we want to do the ending? Full game? 6 hours? Okay, we're not going to be here for 6 hours. How much time we got? We got about an hour? Is there an hour video in here somewhere? We're not going to talk. This is the first part. Okay, I don't want to... Do we want to just see the lady... What's her name? Demetrius? I don't remember. There it is. Dimitrescu. How you say that? Dimitrescu. I think the U is silent. I'm not sure. Yeah, 6 hours. Oh, this is all the cutscenes. So maybe we could watch a little bit of that, huh? Full movie. We don't need to play any of it, do we? Nah. Let's do that. Let's do the video of the cutscenes. Let's fast forward that. Let's get to the... I guess we'll get to the part where... So it's not too much of a spoiler. Let's go to there. Yeah. Anyway. She has some big breasts. Wow. Who? The lady. Yeah. She's big. She's like 10 feet tall or something like that. Or 12'2", or I forgot how tall she is. She's very tall. 10'9"? I forgot how tall. 9'10". I don't remember how tall she's tall. There, I did see the video where they did the thick mod where she's like in like half naked lace and she's walking around smacking fools up. I was like, dang. No, what was interesting about that is that they did the mod, right? So they changed her model, right? Made her with the even bigger breasts and bigger booty. But there's a point in the game where she's talking to, I don't know, one of the other boss characters, and she's looking in. She's sitting down in front of a mirror. The mirror image is of her original model costume with the dress and the white dress and stuff and the hat. And I was like, oh, so it's actually not even a reflection. It's not ray traced. That part wasn't ray traced. You know what I'm saying? You think about it, right? Oh, it's got ray tracing. Yeah, okay, where? Not reflections, because the one time she sat in front of a mirror and these fools modded it, guess what? It was different. So that means there was actually two models. Or they did a high resolution video, which doesn't make sense. I don't know how they did it, honestly, but and I don't even know what this guy's playing it on. And I need to okay, it's at 480, it's fine. What did he play it on? Let me see. It didn't say. Doesn't say. Oh, that's right. But anyway, so Resident Evil 8. I saw the gist of it, like the lady Dimitrescu, whatever her name is. I saw most of that. She is more like a Mr. X or whatever his name is. She's more like that character where she walks around slowly following you when she's gonna get you. Ethan is special. Ethan Winters is the character you play. He's special, and that's why he can take so much punishment and all. I think it's a cool Resident Evil game. Let's be real. It's a cool Resident Evil game, but I don't care. Again, I don't like the super spooky games anyway, but I don't know, something about this makes me interested. But I think the fact that I think this one would probably be the one that I'm more interested in, only in the fact that it's the nature of how the game is. So the game is basically 4 sections. It's not, I don't know how many acts there is. I haven't looked that up. But Legend says she's more like a level boss. She's not the big boss. Yeah, exactly. She's one of the 4, I would say. So it's her. It's the doll lady, I guess. And this one probably is last gen. It's on both. It's on last gen and next gen. But yeah, this is on PS4 and Xbox. Oh, that's how he lost his fingers. On Xbox One X and one. But anyway, but yeah, so it's Lady D, the werewolf dude, not this guy, but the guy with the hat, the doll, and then the old lady witch lady, and I forgot her name. And then I'm spoiling some stuff, so well, unless you don't want me to spoil anything, but honestly, I don't know if I don't think like the spoilers that I know about the certain characters I don't think it takes away from the game. It just explains how Ethan can take so much punishment, or how, the deal with his wife, who is the same girl from the first Resident Evil 7. And the daughter Rose, and what her role is, and why, it's a whole bunch of kind of like, okay, this is goofy. It's a Resident Evil game. It's goofy. Keisha says I don't mind. I have no interest in Res games. And the thing about this game is that it's a Resident Evil game, but I think it's more different than any. It's closer to Resident Evil 7, but I still think it's further away from Resident Evil 7 in that it has those kind of 4 bosses, and each boss environment section or whatever it's like a different type of game. It's not all like, oh, it's the same as Lady D's, but it's a different character. No, it's not. It's like totally different. Each one is. I saw him fighting I forgot the character's name. He's fighting some giant robot monster thing. I was like, okay, he was just shooting it with guns and like he had a machine gun in the shot. I was like, what the hell is this game? Now this isn't Resident Evil. He was like, grr, grr. I was like, okay. So I think this game is closer to something that I wouldn't mind playing, as opposed to 7, and as opposed to the others. I think this is more closer. This is closer to the remakes they did, 2 and 3, than 7. Except this one's the third person. You know what I mean? But like, you know, you see all this action is crazy. He's getting wrecked. He's getting rocked and wrecked. Legend says, in my opinion, it's one of the 3 best Resident Evil games that ever come out with. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Just by watching it and knowing like as far as story and stuff, it's like yeah. This feels like if you go through the history of Resident Evil, like I played the first one on Saturn, and I was like, this game is horrible. These controls, I can't get behind these controls. I can't do it. And it says the game of the year contender. Yeah, it might take up like that last slot. Like, oh, there's another slot here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It depends on what else comes out this year, but it's not bad. It's not like, oh, this sucks, or it's like, oh, there's something really bad about this. I don't think there's anything really bad about this game. Oh, there is something bad about this game. It's this guy's acting. The guy who played Ethan. Every time he's talking, and whoever wrote him, it's bad. And I don't know if they did that on purpose for just to make it kind of schlocky and funny. There's the other boss, I think. I don't know. It's hard to tell if they were serious or if the actor, or if they told him to like ham it up or something. But he's like, yeah, no. It's like you can't take him like how he's talking. He's like, yeah, oh, what are you doing? Like I forgot her. I think her character, she's like in disguise or whatever. She transforms into like whatever. And it was like they were talking at one point, and he goes, "Come back here, you such." And the way he said it, I was like, "Oh man, that's bad." That's like if you heard that in like a TV show or a movie, you're like, "Oof, that was bad acting." Y'all gonna take another cut? You're gonna do that again, right? Except with better acting, like not even like notes on, like not even. Oh, give us more emotions. Remember your daughter, and you're trying to save her. No, it's not. It's just like, yeah, do that better. That's all. That's my notes. Do it better. Okay, go action. It's really bad, but it's almost comically bad. So it's like it's bad in a good way. Like if you pull it into that context, like everybody else is like, yeah, okay, they're in this, but Ethan Winters, whoever's playing him, I didn't look it up. It's like wow, he's like, it's almost like if Arnold Schwarzenegger played Ethan Winters, that type of that level of acting, except he doesn't sound like Arnold. He just sounds like a dude. That's what it feels like. And so if you're down for that, yeah, sure. Then you won't have any problems with that. But if you're like, oh, this is bad because and you're a snob about it, then don't even play this game. But my thing about these games, Capcom games, is that, you know, Capcom, they have got some wizards over there making their human faces really good. They look really good. They've been looking good for a while. And I was like, Len says you got to give the game a pass on some of the voice acting. It is a Japanese. And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Is like, I'm looking at this game, right? The faces are, and the models are beautiful and stuff, right? But the lip syncing is like perfect. So it's like, you can't really say that, Legend, because it's not like there was a Japanese director saying, okay, well, honestly, I don't know how they did the English voice on this. You know, I don't know who directed the English voice actors or whatever, but it's just how he said the words sounds funny. And it's just him. That's what I'm saying. It's just him. Everybody else is dope. Like Duke, the guy, the big fat guy who sells you stuff. And I can say big fat guy because he's morbidly obese. He almost looks like a monster, but he's not. But he kind of is. But yeah, it's just Ethan. It's just everybody else is straight. It's just him. Even Chris is like, you know, like you think, oh, Chris is gonna be kind of corny because he's in all the games. Nah, Chris is alright. I mean, some of the lines are like, man, I tried to save him, but I couldn't. I mean, I tried, but I couldn't. He says that like at the end or something. Spoilers, kind of, sort of. And I was like, okay, that line was a little, but what can you do when you have a line like that? You know it's, but it still felt better than when Ethan's talking, because Ethan's just like, oh yeah, it's so funny. But like I was saying, the faces, even though like some of it is a little, you know, wooden as far as the faces go, like, you know, in this instance right here, but it still looks like it's like top notch character animation. The models, it looks so good. Except some of the monsters look a little raggedy. But look at that, though. Look at that face. And this is like last gen looking stuff right here. I would say that the only difference is like maybe well, I was going to say ray tracing, but no. Legend says the game is basically dubbed. It's not dubbed. It's English. They literally, maybe they have a program where it takes the English words and it makes them. It's really good lip syncing. That's what I'm saying. It's like the lip syncing on this game is excellent, and the fact that you don't see Ethan's face, I think is it's a detriment to it, because if you saw it, maybe you would connect to it, the voice to, you know, what he's doing, the environment, the situations that he's in. But he seems like he doesn't react correctly to the situations. Not like the words maybe are a little off, but it's basically his like timbre and his emotion that he's kind of giving off. And when he's yelling, he's like, yo, that's my daughter, man. It's kind of like what I just did kind of sounds like what he sounds like. And it's like, that's not it. So honestly, I think it's just the voice actor couldn't really get it exactly where it is, unless this is what they were going for. Then I would be like, okay, it's kind of goofy, and I don't think it's bad. That's the thing. I think it's just strange and weird. But one thing I will say, like, if you look at the lip syncing, it's on point. Ooh, my bad. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm so excited about the lip syncing. Giant Lady looked pretty good to me, but I like giant ladies. Listen, Legend, it's okay to like giant ladies. I will say, a beautiful person is a beautiful person, no matter the size. Giant, tiny, skinny, large, thick, doesn't matter. B-U-T is B-A-U-T. That's it, and that's all. But yeah, so did we pass that already, or are we getting to the point where we're going? Let's because that's 25 minutes up. So let's get to the Lady D's. That's the other guys with the hat. Is that the hat guy? No, that's the hammer guys. Let me see if I can. There she is. Oh, this is the scene right here that I was talking about, where they had a different costume on her right here, and then she sits in front of the mirror. She's gonna sit down right here, boom, right there. That's not a reflection. That is either a video. I think it might be a video, or I think it might be a pre-rendered video that they shot from a different angle and then they just put it there. That would make more sense. Yeah. Might just be a video. But like I said, it's not ray tracing. I was like, wait, I thought this game, I don't know, it's weird. It was made in Japanese language first, then English. Yeah, that's fine. But they got the lip syncing perfect. So, you know, it's and honestly, it's the job of the localizers, the people who are making these. So, I mean, this is a Japanese game, so it's 7. Yeah, of course. I mean, Capcom is a Japanese company, so. But they have what is this? Come on. You pause it or something. Get out of here. Ooh. But Capcom has always been good about their English as far as lip syncing and stuff. It's never been like, oh, this is a Japanese game, so ew. It's not like Sega where you're like, oh, they're just dubbing it, or they didn't even dub it. You're just reading subs. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'd have to look into who localizes it or what their localization. I would imagine with lip syncing that good, either they got a damn good proprietary program that has that does that's a spoiler, that does the lip syncing, which some games do, but don't do it. If this is a proprietary or like a whatever they built for lip syncing any language, is the best. This is the best in the industry right now. Capcom has the best lip syncs in the industry, if that's what it is. And I would assume that is what it is, because unless they did facial capture for the English actors, which makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So in that respect, I think that's what it might be as well. They just have really high fidelity capture for performance capture. And so they're doing performance capture anyway. They get the camera in your face. They just plop it on there. Maybe they have to fix a little bit of jittery stuff. Maybe some stuff messes up, so they have to fix some stuff. But for the most part, there's not a lot of facial emotion, like in the eyebrows and the eyes and stuff. So it's really just about the mouth and the words. So as long as that's straight, then yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Did they do it in English and then translate it to Japanese, maybe? Because like I said, man, if you watch, if this had sound, wait, so let me see if I can put this in. Wait, let me see. Yeah, you can hear it, right? Yeah. That's gross. All right, so wait, let me find a spot where somebody's talking. Oh, these sisters don't do nothing. Oh, she got caught in the sun, baby. And like I said, is that Lady D? I think that's Lady D right there. She's the monster dragon. Nah. I don't know. Let me go here.
Where are the rest of them? You have the one. The other lords have the rest.
You have the one. But where's the lady? Did they? Oh, they're not gonna show it. Hold on. Here, let's look. Look. Yeah, that's got to be just proprietary. Oh no, like it's. Ouch. Yeah, man. Look, that's some good. That's some real good. That's some real good mouth syncing, lip syncing. Anyway, this game is nice. Like for a Resident Evil game, yep. Like if this wasn't a Resident Evil game, I think it would have gotten. What have it got? I don't know. That's hard to. I mean, I think it would have gotten a lot more kind of praise. But yeah. The ending, I'm trying to think. So it ends like that. What's his Mia's is his wife, the girl from the first one. They had the kid Rosemary. So I think Mia's gonna be the protagonist of the next game. If they're gonna continue this line, I think they should continue with this line, with this story. You know what I mean? Like keep going, because I mean Chris is in it, Chris Redfield, and he's okay. But I think they can go. I think they can kind of do more things, like because Ethan Winters isn't like a super soldier. He's just the frickin' strange man. he's just a strange man that likes to get beat up by monsters. That's what he do. He's like, oh, time for me to get my arm. Oh boy, then put some magic juice on it. I was like, huh? Wait, huh? They explain it. So it's all good. But I was like, okay. Anyway, at the end, Ethan, the character you're playing as, ends up sacrificing himself to save everybody, I guess. He saves Chris, and in turn saves Maya, I'm going to say Maya, and Rosemary, his daughter and wife. But then again, Ethan got mad regenerative skills, so I'm going to say he'd probably be back in the next game. He'd probably be back. Say, oh yeah, I just grew more body parts. That's what I do. I'm Ethan Winters. It's like, you could rain acid on me. You could cut off my limbs. I just grown back. Well, he didn't grow back them fingers, but maybe it takes a little bit more time. I was watching the second season of Death, Love, and Robots. It's on Netflix. That's good. It's I think it might be better than the first season in a way. Yeah. Dude, CG. There are two CG. Well, it's all CG, but there are two in particular that look so real. There's one with Michael B. Jordan in it. I was like, that looks real right there. And then there's another one with these people. I have no idea who they were. They were British actors. And it looks so real. Like sometimes you're like, okay, that's not real. But it looks real. At some points, like if I took a still frame of it, you would think it was real. So go and watch Death, Love, and Robots, because it's... Yeah, Legend says it's a sequel from 7, a direct sequel. Yes, it is. And that's the thing. So I want a direct sequel from this, 8, which would be 9, which would... I would say, Maya. It could be Maya. Or maybe I would say Rosemary growed up. Maybe she's like, I don't know, just turning 18 or something. And, she's young. I mean, she's old enough to get beat the hell up and not feel too bad about it, because you're making a game about, beating up people. And you can't do that to a minor because it's just not right. I mean, whatever. So she's 18. Oh, happy 18th birthday. Then the monsters come out. Oh, she's 18. She's ready. Let's go. Bit, bat, boop, right? And then, I don't know, they kidnap her mom. And then she's like, Mommy. Sound just like that. Mommy. And she's like, Rose, get your out of here. Don't save yourself. But her mama knows Rose is the real deal. So, and the way that they set up Rose in this game, it could be like some stuff right there. And it could be like another... They got some places to go. What they're doing in Resident Evil is like, oh, okay, y'all got superpowers now? What's going on now? What can she do now? It's really good. So in that respect, like when Resident Evil is just about zombies and Umbrella Corporation and I'm like, I don't care. I don't. No spoilers on That's Love and Robots. No, I won't spoil that. I will just say that the CG is bananas, son. Like the first one with the old lady and the vacuum cleaner robot. That's not a spoiler, but that's just a setup. It was like a character. They were caricatures, like kind of cartoony, but the textures are real good. But they're literally two. The one with Michael B. Jordan looks really good, and then there's another one with these other actors I said before. It looks so good. I'm like, yo, how are they getting these graphics? It's crazy. They have gone crazy with this CG, man. CG is getting so good. It's like, yo, that's shit. Like they don't. I mean, honestly, they could do a whole movie. Like, I mean, they did Final Fantasy Spirits Within back in the day. That was the closest thing right there. But now, woof, it's real good. But it was. I watched it all in one sitting. It was. They're like, I don't know, 13 to 18 minutes each. Some are shorter, some are longer. And there are 8, 10. I don't remember how many there are, but it's you could watch it real quick. One sit down, you can watch them all. It's really good though. I think I might watch it. I might watch some of them again, but the one with Michael B. Jordan was a little. It was good. I think the one with Michael B. Jordan would be kind of cool if they redid it live action. But it would be so if they did it. I don't know. It's weird. It's so close to live action. It's so close to real that it's like it kind of. I don't think they need to. Anyway, Lennon says it's a Japanese game. They kill minors all the time. They don't care. Yeah, I know, but if they want global appeal, they gotta be careful about that. And especially if you're the protagonist and you're a minor, I mean, you can't die, right? And especially Rose, I don't think she would die anyway. So you know what? I take it back. She could be like 16. Oh, I'm sweet 16, yay! And then all hell breaks loose and stuff. Come on with these texts. I want to see the blibbity blaps and the poom pams and the drip draps. And the crippity craps. But oh, he got stuck behind the pillar. Is he gonna knock the pillar down? Anyway, what I was saying before though is that I mean, if you look at this, like the graphics is crazy, the environments are really good for the most part. There are some times where you look at it, it's like, oh, that texture's a little weird, but you know, for the most part, and how dense and how different everything looks is like, okay, that's pretty good. And especially like the faces, man. I'm telling you, they're doing some stuff at Capcom that is like on a as far as a third party, they're beating a lot of the other third parties as far as like, you know, presentation, facial animation in general. I mean, just look at Street Fighter V. I've always, even whatever you may say about the fighting mechanics or the systems in that game, I don't even know. But the animation in Street Fighter V, even though it is kind of cartoony and exaggerated with the boobies and stuff and the jiggle jaggles, but damn, just throwing pillars. It's still really good animation. Really good animation. So Capcom's got that on lock. So I don't know. I mean, people are saying, oh, the inventory system is better, blah blah blah. I'm like, you know, that's the one thing I really hated about Resident Evil was the inventory stuff. But you know, I don't know. It's there's things that Capcom can do, and then there's things that are kind of that are like they fall short as far as presentation wise. So that's where they're in their kind of own, not lane, but they're like, okay, they're not like the Naughty Dogs, you know, they're not Ninja Theory, but they're somewhere different where it's like kind of like horror movies, where it's a horror movie that is about just all the crazy different monsters, or like, you know, a cabin in the woods type of thing. That's what it feels like. It's like, okay, it's except the humor isn't quite there in the same way like a cabin in the woods would be. Oh my god, these freaking, let's give me some more gameplay. Wouldn't be there. So that's where I say, hey, Legends over there. Hey, aloha. You're jumping all over the place. Too much lag on YouTube. Too far behind. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's the thing about YouTube. YouTube does have the laggies. So. But I appreciate you jumping in there. But yeah, I think that they are in their own lane as far as that stuff goes. They're not like, you know, like I said, Naughty Dog, Ninja Theory. They're I think the top two realistic characters in games right now. Capcom is close behind. Like, who else would be behind Capcom? I'm thinking. I mean, ahead of Capcom, but behind Ninja Theory and Naughty Dog. And I only give Naughty Dog the top spot because Ninja Theory only really came out with Senua's Sacrifice, Hellblade, the first Hellblade first, and that was the one that kind of, oh, they can do that. You know, everything else was like, it was good, but it wasn't like at that level. But they've proven themselves to be able to do, you know, realistic quality, you know, models and acting and capture and performance in games. So I'm looking at like who else Insomniac is cartoony. That's what they do. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that's what they do. Like Spider-Man is cartoony. Ratchet and Clank cartoony, obviously. Who else? What are they called? They did the Ghost of Tsushima. Sucker Punch. Knuckle Punch. Sucker Punch. No. They might be. No, I think Sucker Punch is just behind Capcom. When you look at the faces and the facial performance and stuff, fidelity wise, animation and all that stuff, I think Ghost of Tsushima looks graphically more beautiful, I think, than this game, Resident Evil 8. But that's because of the art design and the colors and all the trees and the leaves and stuff flowing. But we just talking strictly character models and strictly how they're rendered, how they look and all that stuff, realistically or whatever. And I think Capcom got them. Capcom is, so what we got? We got Naughty Dog, Ninja Theory, Capcom, Sucker Punch. Who else? Are they? Is that it? Those are the top 4? Huh. I mean, we'll see what all these other studios at Microsoft are doing. There's so many studios. It's like, we got new stuff coming. So, maybe Perfect Dark's gonna do some new stuff. I mean, they're trying to be. I think they're trying to follow that Last of Us 2 quality. Quality, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what they're trying to do. So, we'll see. I don't know. I hope they make it a third. Well, I was gonna say I hope they make it a third-person action game, or maybe just parts of it. I don't know. But like a game like this proves that first-person works, but also this is a horror game, so horror games work better in first person, I would assume, because and the fact that you can't really control the FOV. Well, I don't know about the PC version. Maybe you can, but that's the second time he fell down a hole. Come on, Ethan. Always falling down holes. Go be Atari. Oh, boy. Oh, it's helicopter propeller head face, man. Oh, he has no arms because he probably tried to grab something and got chopped off. I heard about him, but I didn't. Whatchamacallit? Can't you duck? Okay, I was like, can't you slide or something? A dead end. Oh, go down the hole. Another hole. Yay. Anyway, propeller head. It's kind of like Pyramid Head. No, I don't know. Oh, jeez. There's no contact shadows. This game is a 0. Garbage. No contact shadow. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't think this game has like any ray tracing. Didn't they say it had? Oh well, this might be a this gen. This might not be a next gen version. So yeah. Did he say how many? Yeah, I don't think so. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this might be a last gen version. Who knows? I'm running at 480p, so because I don't want my frames to die too much. But yeah. But anyway, I mean, we don't need to watch much more of this, but it's pretty. I mean, it's kind of the same, kind of going through everything else. Look at those flames. Well, at least they're at the same refresh rate as the rest of the game. Though I'll give it that. It's not dropping too many frames. Anyway, I'll fast forward to the last fight. Oh, hold up. She did grow up. Hold up. I didn't see that part. Where's the last fight? Where is that the last fight? No, that's not the last fight. Oh, they skipped it or something. What happened here? It was like right here. Unless, oh no, I was watching something else. That's right. Wait, so I gotta see. Oh, so wait, hold up. Let me see this. I want to see the ending. Sorry, you guys are gonna get spoiled. I'm spoiling the ending. I'm watching it. I'm not even no sound though. No one cares about the sound. So I guess that's her growed up. That's the book. I guess her mom died. See, look at them hands, man. That's good. Even though that's probably pre-rendered. Yeah, that's her. Okay, so yeah, she'll be in the next one. See, they did a good job. She looks like, she kind of looks like her mom a little bit. But she also looks like the baby version. Oh, you beat it already? All right, cool. Cool. Well, why didn't you tell me I was wrong? Oh, I forgot what I said. I was saying some crazy stuff about the next game. She's past 16, right? She's like 22 or something. I don't know how old she is. But yeah, she's gonna be in the next one. They gonna mess her up. Why she gotta have like pro kids on? Oh, look at a zipper. Anyway, yeah, she looks like a mama a little bit. I don't know what Ethan looked like. Did they ever show his face in the set in the last one? I don't even know. Oh no, she went to his grave. That's right. And then, what's his name's there? See, look at that face, man. Ethan Winters. Ethan Winters. Yeah, man, I think he's coming back. I think he'll be back. But yeah, I think you're right too, Legend. They just had different they had different audio, obviously for the That's all you gotta do is pour some juice on his arm. It's just his arm that survived, and they just pour some juice, and then the rest of his body will pop out. Plop. I'm back. So, Eveline. Wait, what? Oh, okay, I was about to say. Yeah, she gonna rock. She gonna slice you up, boy. You know she's the mold queen, right? You know she is. Yeah. One thing I would say is that even though they are realistic, the teeth always look a little bit too like dark. You know what I mean? It might just be the lighting. But, you know what I mean? It just feels, I don't know. Well, it feels weird. But yeah, Resident Evil 9 is going to have Rosemary's baby. She's going to be in it. And that's what's it. If these are last gen graphics, then they are my god. This coming gen is going to be off the chain. Yeah, I don't know, man. They didn't even say if this was on. Let me see if it says in the beginning. Does it say at the end? No. The father of the story is now done. Okay, so they're gonna have a daughter story. Alright, so let me see if there's any indication. Actually, I didn't know what he was playing. Oh, well, there's a mouse there, so this is PC. So there you go. So if this is PC, then this is probably, who knows what kind of computer this person has. 4K, 60 FPS, so he's got to have a banging computer, right? But does that mean that he has all the stuff on? So does he show what he's rocking as far as... No, he doesn't. So, no, never mind. I mean, there are videos of this game that's like... Let me get... let's do Xbox Series X. So let's see what the difference is. We're not gonna watch the whole thing. This is freaking what? This is PlayStation. No, that's what? Wait, what? What's going on here? Huh? Hold up. How did he get that background? Hold up. Okay, yeah, that's an Xbox. Okay, so how did he get that background? That's kind of dope. Oh, he probably just put a picture. That's kind of, you know what? That's good. That's good. What are you gonna do? You gonna do options? What you got? Let's see what this person does. Video, display. No, go back. Oh, you played this, right, Legend? So if you put it in Japanese, does the lip syncing sync up? That's what I want to know. Let's see some. So freaking whatchamacallits. We don't need to see this. We need to see in game. That's in game. It's an in-game cutscene, but the ambient occlusion is pretty good. Let me see if there's any. It's a good shadow. It's a Series X. So, did they say there was ray tracing on the PS5 and Series X? I think there is, right? So, hey, let me pop this a little bigger. We can see it a little better. We'll fast forward through. Look at the baby's head. Your baby head so big. Yeah, that's gotta have some. Look at that. Look at that GI. Yeah, that global. Yeah, you see that ball in the back? You see? I'll show you. I can show you where it's ray tracing. See that ball right there? You see how the floor, the color of the floor is reflecting off the ball? That's ray tracing. That's ray tracing. So that's good. So this looks way better. So let's go to another part here. That's not it. Let's go past that. Let's go to the part where the dude was. Not her. He fell down. Oh, he's in the woods. So I'm gonna go. Where he meets the dude. I'm trying to find it. Sorry. Oh, let's go here. Although I do have it at a low resolution, so but that's only because. Yeah, this looks a little better. Oh, here you go. Here's the guy. That's what I wanted to say. Because we saw this part. Yeah, this looks a little better. Let me pop that res up a little bit. We'll do 1080. Look at it. Look at it. Yep. Yeah, you could tell. Okay, I'll put it back down. But yeah, that's good. Legend says, I don't think there's a ray tracing in this game. I think it's a PS4, Xbox One game upsample from the new game system. That's true. That is true. I think that's... Yeah, that's actually what it is. But they did a good job baking in... What? Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Wait. I think my brain is getting confused now. Was it this game that was... It wasn't... Yeah, you're right. It's the old gen, and they did the backwards compatibility on Xbox, and then... Well, they did backwards compatibility on both, but the Xbox does it better, so it has better performance. Oh, no. I'm thinking of the Mass Effect trilogy. So this game might have some... Like I said, that one shot in the house looked pretty good, but this right here is like, And I'm looking at the ground. I don't see... Is there water down on the ground? I don't see any reflections or anything. I think that's supposed to be water. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same. But you might be right though. I'm not too sure. Crunch. He's like, yummy. Can I have some more biscuits? Biscuits, please. He still got his ring. Come on, son. Look, he just got his hand bit off. And he's like, what the hell is that? I'll be like, damn, my hand, son. No, just stay back. Okay. Yeah, like I said, like the snow texture is like kind of muddy. But I mean, you know, how can you get too much detail in snows? That's the tricky thing, but you might be right. I don't know. I could have swore there was some kind of some type of something, but I'm gonna tell you that ball on that floor. Look, that was a real good facsimile if it wasn't ray trace. But they might have ray trace global illumination, but not reflections, because that's more. It just costs more as far as resources. That's why that shot with Lady D was just like a video playback and not an actual reflection of her, because it just, and that way they can control what the reflection looks like, instead of it like, oh, we have to move the camera at this angle in order to get the actual reflection. You know, so that's a little tricky when you're doing reflections. Legend says, I noticed that the magic serum also sews up his cut-off shirt. I got to get some of that stuff in my dents in my car. I know, right? That's another, like, wait, how does this jacket get fixed? You know, it's just shouldn't it be like flippy flappies? You need. That was funny. I was like, whatever. You know, this is Resident Evil. But yeah, I mean, you finished it, so you know what's up. I didn't play it, but I've watched enough of it to know that pretty good. I don't want to play it though, because I just don't. I don't know. I'd rather have like. There's a thing about. Well, first of all, first person. I'm getting older, as you can tell, and I was playing. What the hell was I playing? I forgot what I was playing, but it was giving me a headache. I was like, oh boy. I think it was a first person. What game was it? Something first person. Oh, it was Titanfall. Titanfall 2. I was like, oh, let me dip through Titanfall and collect all the helmets and stuff. Because I didn't collect all the helmets the first time I played it. And so I'm going through, like, you know, just the different chapters and stuff. And I did the first one because I missed the first one. I was like, oh, where did that one? And I went to the second one. I got one already. And I was like, and I was getting kind of dizzy. I was like, ugh. And it's a 60 frame per second game on Xbox One X. So I was like, I can't. I think it might be the FOV on it. I don't know if there's a FOV slider. I don't think there is. But yeah, man, I can't. There's certain games. Ever since I got that Vertigo that one time, my brain hasn't been right ever since. So, you know, forgetting words and such. That's why I'm trying to, you know, keep it up. Gotta feed it food and feed it food and you know, try to use it more, which is something everyone should do. Use your brain. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. Where's Lady D? I want to see her. She's really good. Is she actually not in this part? She's not in this part. It's all the villagers and the early villager stuff. That's whack. That's garbage. All right, anyway, I'm gonna turn that off. Bye. Hi, Xbox. Yeah. So that's about all I got. I'm not gonna drag this out unless there's something else. Did I forget something else? I'm trying to think. I never talked about Mitchell's versus the Machine. Everybody's like, "Oh, that movie's so good." Blah blah blah. I think I did talk about it actually, but it's a good movie. Netflix, go watch it. Lord and Miller, they make good movies. Yeah, I don't think I got nothing else. But I was playing Psychonauts. I forgot. I mean, I talked about it briefly before, but I want to go through. I never finished it originally, so I want to go through it, finish it, so I can get ready, but I want to play it and get through it so that I can, you know, be up for the new one that's coming out. I think it might be coming out next month. I don't know. They might drop it during E3, so I'm like, I need to finish this game. I'm not too sure. I heard the first Psychonauts isn't that long. It's like an 8 to 10 hour game or something like that. So I'm like, oh, okay, I can run through it. But I did the drill sergeant dude, and I did the second guy, the guy with all the sensors, the sensor guys in his brain. So I have the groovy lady, and then I have I don't know how many brains I gotta go on, any minds I gotta go into, but as an OG Xbox game, it's still good. And if it was more, if Psychonauts 2 was an actual next gen only title and they went all out with the graphics like that, like what Ratchet and Clank is doing, then it might give Ratchet and Clank a run for its money in the this is an old type of game with new graphics category. Not saying that either one is more fun, but I know that the writing in Psychonauts is going to be top tier, because Tim Schafer don't play. He knows how to write some funny ass games, and so far Psychonauts is excellent for what it is. Now, I don't even want to say for what it is. If the graphics were this gen, ray tracing, all that pretty stuff, this game would be off the charts. But, you know, so older games, it's in 4:3. It's not even widescreen. That's crazy. So, but it's all good. I was thinking about downloading it on my PC and playing it here sometime, but I don't know. I can't really play games and stream at the same time because my graphics card can't handle it. So I'll see. But anyway, I'm gonna end it a little early. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. I didn't prepare too much. That's okay. Hopefully Ratchet and Clank comes out in less than a month, so it'll be good. We can't cap. It's gonna be a good game. How good will it be? Who knows? Once you cut past the pretty graphics, is the game really like, oh, this is the best game ever, or is it like, yeah, it's fun, but the graphics is banging, but it's fun. Is it one of those? Is it like, oh, this is the best looking movie ever, but the story was kind of dumb. The best new character being Rivet. Yeah, sure. I think, like I said before, I like Rivet better than Ratchet already, kind of, sort of, only because I tend to like female characters more than male characters. Maybe. And I think there's more of a draw to her because A, she's female, and B, she's not Ratchet, so she's been alone. I think that's the story. She's been alone. She's like the opposite of Ratchet. She's the another dimension version of Ratchet, I think. So she didn't have a Clank. She's been alone and then I don't want to say quiet, but she runs into Clank and they team up or something or whatever. So she does things differently than what Ratchet would do. So it's I don't know. It seems interesting, but based off of Insomniac's prior work, and mainly I'm talking about Sunset Overdrive, because Spider-Man is Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is not wholly a creation of Insomniac. So they have stuff and relationships and characters that are already there, predetermined, already there. They have their backstories, they have their personalities and all that stuff. So Ratchet and Clank is 100% Insomniac, and so is Sunset Overdrive. And I know there's a rumor that Sunset Overdrive 2 may be coming, but honestly, they're just keeping the IP alive by renewing it. So it's not a guarantee that they're going to actually make it, but I don't think it would be smart for them to make Sunset Overdrive 2. If Sony wants to be like, oh, you want to have a pissing contest about the exclusives and stuff that we wanted, but you got in the show, y'all got the show. Well, guess what? We got Sunset Overdrive 2, so there you go, Xbox, haha. If they want to be like that, sure. I'm gonna tell you right now, Sunset Overdrive 2 is not gonna sell as much as Spider-Man or Ratchet and Clank. If Gallagher is the same dude who did the first one, if he's the same dude and they keep the same type of music, that was my main problem with that game was the music. Now, I'm not saying the music was bad, but a game like that, open world, you need to have a plethora of radio stations. And I'll be like, listen, can I choose if I want metal, or I want classic rock, or I want that punk stuff that they had in the game, or I want, I don't know, some hip hop, some R&B, some classical, let's go. Some drum and bass, let's go. Like Forza Horizon, let's go. If that game had like a crazy customizable or stations soundtrack, come on, it would have elevated it so much higher. And I don't know if that's what that team or Gallagher's about. So, he put the music in the game that he liked, and that's fine. It's not bad music, but I wanted something else. I wanted, I wanted some hip hop. Let's go. Put some 90s hip hop in there. Let's go. It doesn't even have to be actually 90s like real music. Just get some, hire some people to make some music for your game. Y'all got that money, man. Let's go. Anyway. Yeah, I don't think, I think Sunset Overdrive was more of an experiment into, it was their first open world game. So it was like can we do open world? And then, they did the guinea pig test on Xbox, and they're like, yeah, we can. So they used that technology on Spider-Man and everything else. Not on Ratchet and Clank, though. So, and that's another thing I do have a problem with Ratchet and Clank is I think it would have been a better game. I think it would have been a more powerful statement. Not a better game, but a more powerful statement if they could have pulled off the same amount of fidelity and quality and have an open world game. Ratchet and Clank's not an open world game. It's linear. Okay, it's not linear. Let's say it's corridors and rooms. Corridors and courtyards. Let's say it that way. And that is the old school kind of not mentality, but that's the old school trappings that is in Ratchet and Clank that kind of diminishes its next gen quality because that old legacy is there, that old. And the thing about that, while what he said, Mark Cerny said in the presentation was like, we don't have to have these narrow hallways to hide stuff for loading. That's fine. They don't have to, and they don't. But you are still keeping the same design philosophy when it comes to levels, and you don't need to do that either. You can have a wide open world, big chunky section. Like, how many different planets does Ratchet actually go to? Well, how many different, not planets, but dimensions, how many different worlds? Say if there's 10, right? Or say if there's 6, right? No, okay, hold up. Say if there's 6, but then there is an alternate version, so there's 12 actually, but it's like a palette swap basically. So it's like the maybe they would have a not procedurally generated thing, but an algorithm that would have a way you build it once and then you go boom, you flip a switch and it turns it to this other version of the level. I don't know. There's ways that stuff can happen without being procedurally, but it would be semi procedural, meaning that the geometry placement would be the same, but the textures and all the little accoutrements and the little things, the griblets, the greebles, would be different. That would be procedural, but the other stuff wouldn't be. I don't know, man. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that, but it's a little under a month out, so we'll see when the game comes out. We'll see the actual breadth and how big the worlds are, kind of how they're constructed. It looks good, but once again, I'm like, okay, you get to a little spot, you get to a little courtyard, and you're shooting a bunch of fools. Then you run through a hallway, then you get to another courtyard, and you're shooting a bunch of fools. And then you go and you're flying through this little race sequence, and you're going real fast through the stuff, and it looks really good. But I'm like, this is all old school, not techniques, old school design. And I'm like, I mean, some of it is okay. But at the same time, it's like, yo, this is next gen. And if you're just using next gen to load stuff faster, then I don't know if they're using it to its full potential, honestly. I'm going to be like, look, like next gen to me is more akin to what they did. I said this before, I'm going to say it again. Shadow of Mordor. When they had that Nemesis system, I'm like, okay, that's on like a level where it's like, all right, it's like kind of an AI thing, but it's not really. But it's like, oh, this is kind of dope because it's not just like, oh, this is an old school level. It's like Crash Bandicoot. They remade it, right? It looks beautiful. Oh, this is the best Crash Band. But the game is just like how it played back in the day. I'm like, oh, hell no. No, don't want to play that. Nope. That's like playing a racing game today, like that looks like Gran Turismo, but plays like Turbo. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. It's like, yo, you have to upgrade the other things too. Game design, level design, all these things need to take full advantage of the hardware that you're putting out. That's the whole point of putting out new hardware or making new hardware, is that you can make different experiences and different, like Luna in the Valley of the whatever mites, the demo that the Unreal 5 demo. I mean, honestly, that's like more of a Tomb Raider type of game. And that was more of a graphical showpiece. So that's a bad example. But like certain parts, like the racing parts in Ratchet and Clank, or the parts where you're flying through the level fast, I don't have too much of a problem with that in particular, because it's more of a action type of sequence, a set piece, if you will. But when you find yourself in the courtyard and a whole bunch of enemies jump from behind crates and you got to shoot them all, that's old. Just watching it, I was like, okay, looks good, but that's an old ass game. I'm seeing old ass game with pretty ass clothes on right now. You got a real nice paint job, old ass game. That's what I'm saying. See all the little sparklies and you see all the particle effects. Oh, look at them particle effects. Still an old ass game though. So that's where I'm like, I wish that it was better about those things. So, I mean, I think I think for me that would be the one true detriment or negative thing I think about Ratchet and Clank is that it still has those old school trappings. Because it's not trying to be an old school game. It's trying to be Ratchet and Clank. This is the newest Ratchet and Clank. So, like I said, if it was like totally like more of an open world, like say like you see all the ships and stuff flying around, maybe you could jump, and you could jump on the ship, and the ship has a kind of a pattern where it goes around the big giant open world, so you can go everywhere. But that's a lot of work, and for multiple. I mean, that's the whole point, though, right? If you have a giant open world times 6 times 2, so 12, right? But they're giant, and you can go, and there's a lot of stuff to do in each one of them. That's like, oh snap. So this is what next gen is about. Okay. Then you got people like, oh boy, open world games just changed. Insomniac just changed the game with the open world game, but they didn't do it. So, I mean, it's only a matter of time before a developer does something crazy like that, right? I mean, because we've had alternate worlds generations. I played Soul Reaver on my Dreamcast, and it had that. And so what Zelda game had that? I don't even remember, because I don't play Zelda that much. I played the first one, that was it. But yeah, Soul Reaver was dope too. I was like, oh, this is great, man. I like this game. And then you just switch to the other side, And Titanfall 2 has it. One of the levels is a time travel level, and you go back and forth. I think there's a button you can press. You have an actual time jumper, or I forgot what it's called, and you actually go back and forth in this one environment, and it's instantaneous. And so it's like, oh my gosh, look at the PS5 is doing these things as SSD. And like, no, games have been doing this for years. There are ways to do this. You have to load that stuff in memory. That's the thing. That's the difference. The difference is, well, I don't know what Sony's doing. I think Sony is loading it in memory, but I think how they're doing it, which is similar to mesh shading, I think it is, where everything that's not on the screen gets loaded out of memory, and the I/O is so fast that it can do that, and there's no stutters, there's no pop-ins or anything. Now, Halo Infinite wasn't optimized, so you saw the pop-ins of the I just said it. Shade rendered vector shade renders, whatever it's called. You saw it, so it wasn't. It was broken basically in that demo, but that's what it does. If you're not looking at it, it's not on the screen. So, and I think it's just less stuff for them to have in memory at one time, so they can have, if you're in one environment and this. Like, there has to be a network of, okay, this environment leads to this environment, leads to this environment. There's like a web of how all these dimensions connect, right? And if that is a constant, then they can say, okay, if you're in this environment, then environment B, if you're in environment A, then environment B is also in memory at a certain point of the level. See, there's different ways you can do it as far as like blocks. Like, say if you're in block 1, and once you get to block 5, that's when the other environment loads in, or is that's where it's up to bat basically. So it preloads when you're in block 5. Meanwhile, all the other blocks behind you aren't there because you're not looking. You jump through the portal, and boom, it's already there. So think of it as like how Minecraft works. Minecraft is on the PC you could select how many blocks you want to render in, so that's how far you can see into the distance, basically how much of the level you want to load in. So think of games like that. So if you have 10 blocks and you're in the middle, the 5 blocks behind you, or the 3 blocks behind you aren't seen, the others in front of you are, and that way the 3 blocks that aren't being seen can be applied to the next dimension or whatever. So there's ways to do it. I mean, they've done it before. They've done it in other games before, so it's not impossible. So, I mean, I would even say that they could do a version of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart on the PS4 Pro. The shifting into different dimensions would take longer. We're not gonna cap on that, but they can do a longer cutscene instead of him going blah and then blah. 3 seconds later, 5 seconds later, he's there. They can go boom, and then they can have the camera pan around him once or twice, for 15 seconds or something, and then boom, he's in the new one, right? It could be like a little automatic cutscene every time they do that, and that's how you do it. However long it takes. So it's not impossible to do that game, but it would, load times would be longer. So that experience would be slightly different, but I don't think there's anything in that game that is hindering it from being able to be done on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro. I mean, less less ray tracing. I mean, they could do some ray tracing because some of it is some of it's baked in, and some of it is software ray tracing. So global illumination and all that stuff. So it's not impossible. And I mean, if they were smart, they want to make all the money, right? I would say they would do it. They're already putting all these other games on PS4, so they said they're going to support it for 3 to 4 years. So 2024 is when we're going to start looking for PS5 games. That's all I'm saying. For real. Everything else is enhanced, if you will. So, but anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Legend, I appreciate you. Judo, I appreciate you popping in. Bridget, wake up. Anyway. And everybody else, Brian and Dave, everybody on Facebook, please, whatchamacallit? I'm gonna put it over here. Please subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. I can't even spell subscribe. To my channel. Where's the arrow? Where's the up arrow? There it is. Oh. D. Dang. Oh. Thanks. To wait. And I didn't put a caps on there. Why did I put a caps on? Is my caps logging? No, it's not. Boop. To the wait. Alright. Anyway. I'm out. Aloha. Have a good rest of your evening there. Oh, sorry. My wires are crunchy. Crunchy wires. No. I always do this. And I always end up on this song. But that's okay. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Once again, I will see you next time. To the wait.